Hey guys, it's Hieronymus from Reddit here, and just wanted to thank you guys very much for your solicitude and your interest in all of the many journeys I'm going to have to partake in to get all this done. It's just really, I've only used Reddit a couple of times to like share anything. I think I shared a D&D story one time, and every time I'm always like, my faith in humanity is renewed just a little bit. I don't know if you call it faith in humanity, but something like that. Anyway, and also sorry for the belated video. I thought that I could go live, but apparently you need like 1,000 subscribers or something wild like that to do that on YouTube. And so I kept trying to make a video, kept getting phone calls, and I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to have to do this later. So sorry for the late video, but yeah, so I haven't really looked through a lot of this. I mean, I've looked kind of at the surface area. I'm going to show you a little bit about what I know that's here. And if anybody sees anything, obviously let me know. And yeah, I'm going to let you guys see a little bit of everything here. As soon as you walk in the door here, you've got his little, I guess, haphazard display area here. He's got 4 printers, and there's like 2 or 3 more in the back that I'm almost positive all the ink's gone out of. And I mean, kind of my idea with those, I was just going to probably give them to somebody to take them to the trade lot and sell them for like $5 a piece, because I don't think that they're worth much more than that. This is a camera, you know, all the camera props I'm going to be showing you, for the most part, I've actually kind of already given away. Stuff like this. But there's this thing in the corner that I don't really understand what it is, but I'll show you the brand name there. I don't really understand what it is, and I imagine it has something to do with some kind of streaming equipment. So if anybody knows anything about that, let me know. These little prop skulls on the side. I'm kind of going to show you as much of the promotional stuff as I can. That's one of the Magic the Gathering promotional posters that we have. There's another one. Obviously, lots of empty box displays, more of those prop skulls. 3 different really cool Magic the Gathering promotional posters. You can kind of see this one's kind of falling off the wall here. But these are, like I said, like a vinyl material. I don't really know if they have any value. To me, like I'm not even that into Magic. Like, I do play it, but they look cool enough where I would want to put them in my apartment. So I think that speaks to its collectability. Of course, you have the banners that I've seen in just about every Magic shop ever. I don't really know if those are worth anything. There's a set of, I think, 4 tables. Look like this. Quite a few chairs. I'm really hoping that a lot of that. I mean, I know that everybody's always looking for stuff like that, whether it's church groups or different things. So I think that those will go pretty quick, I hope. This is this display kind of thing in the middle here. Kind of good for retail stuff. Some more Magic. It's a really cool piece of leather armor with the straps and buckles. A few throwing axes. I don't really know what the heck this is. I think it's a board game of some kind. All the camera stuff, again, I'm mostly giving all this away. There's somebody that wants this in particular, so I'm not even really concerned with it. Here's where I think is going to really kind of rack up. This is the Warhammer 40K stuff, all pro-painted. I tried to paint some of these guys, and I can go ahead and tell you whoever painted these did a lot better than I did, so I think that they might be a little bit more valuable than just the base models that are already ridiculous, just even unassembled. Some used books up there, mostly R.A. Salvatore. I don't think that that's really, anything holds any kind of value. This awesome display case has been in this shop since before the previous owner owned it. It revolves. I don't really know entirely how to turn it on, but I'm not going to fool with it right now. But there's a lot of D&D figures in there, quite a few dice sets, so that's pretty cool. There's got a little wine cooler looking thing here, good for concessions, all that good stuff. Refrigerator. Microwave, obviously. Here's where we get into the Magic the Gathering stuff. There's so many boxes. I don't know. Some of it's sorted. Some of it's not. Some of it's half empty. Some of it's completely, probably 1,000 cards in there. All of this is just Magic the Gathering, and that's not even the beginning of the Magic. There's Magic all over this place that's in all kinds of shape. Board games, I've kind of moved over here just because I know there's a particular interest in that. I don't really recognize a whole lot of these, but here's Bears versus Babies. You've got Crabs, Exploded Kittens, Midnight Zombie Sabotage, One Night Ultimate Werewolf. I have played Werewolf. That's fun stuff, obviously. And I think that's actually like an expansion pack or something. I'm not really sure. But this is Talisman. Here's where we start getting into Warhammer Codices. I'm not really sure which one this is, but I know that Warhammer's good all day. Definitely kind of stuff you want to find. D&D book. More Warhammer literature. Old Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd edition Player's Guide to Forgotten Realms. And there's actually, I think the rest of that is somewhere down here. Here's character sheets for AD&D. Funny part about this is I was actually trying to buy some of this stuff off of them, especially the AD&D stuff. I don't really necessarily play 2nd edition, but I do like reading a lot about it. And he just always wanted too high prices for it. So I guess I have it now if I want it. Kingdom Builder. Tried to figure out that game once, and after about 10 minutes, I was like, oh my gosh. I think I've already shown you the Talisman. There's binders of Yu-Gi-Oh! More binders of Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! As of about 10 years ago, so. Baseball cards, some of these are actually already, they have the price amounts on there. I don't know if he had somebody particular, like actually expert price these or whatever. I know that he probably didn't know anything about it. So I don't know if these are just arbitrary numbers. I will say it isn't his style to price things like this. This is way more organized, so I think that he probably bought this off somebody expecting to turn it for a quick buck and never got around to it. So that's fun stuff. I know there's still people out there looking at sports collections. It's not really my forte. I don't really know a whole lot about it. It's not to say I don't find it interesting, though. Lots of Warhammer stuff here. There's a Space Wolf Codex, Age of Sigmar, little getting started pack. Lots of unsorted Magic here, and this is the kind of stuff I dread, looking at boxes like that, because I know that there could be a card in there worth $20, but it's probably unlikely, and it's not worth $20 looking at them or trying to learn about them. All of this down here, more Magic. You can move this box. All of that's Magic, Magic, Magic. Warhammer paints. Now this is the Vallejo alternative there for modeling paints, and I know that this isn't a full set, but it's definitely a lot of them, and I know that modeling paints generally, as long as they're in good condition, which all these are essentially new. I mean, they are new, but I mean, as long as they're in good condition, they generally, from my understanding, have a pretty good resale. Modeling glue there, a couple packs of that. Not a whole lot of real inventory, but as far as Warhammer goes, but it's at least new stuff. You'll see in a minute there's a lot of used. More Magic, a Pathfinder Bestiary. These two racks that they're Games Workshop racks, obviously. I'm not really sure if people even look for this kind of things. I think it's kind of one of those situations where a shop gets them for essentially free, if I'm not mistaken, once they start carrying. But I might be wrong. I'm not too familiar with that. I just know that he wouldn't have spent money on that. So. Lots of cards. This is labeled the $1 box. I don't know how true to that it actually is. There's some unopened card packs here. None of them are magic. And I know y'all are looking at like stuff like that on the wall and stuff down here. Really excited, but I can promise you absolutely all of these magic boxes are completely empty. Sadly, I think that was one of the big reasons why this game store kind of went down, is he just kind of stopped ordering for people, stopped holding his F&M and whatever he was doing with his money that people was spending here willy-nilly. I know for a fact because I was one of them. He definitely wasn't ordering inventory for us. Some more magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! And these little sealed things. I don't know if any of these are worth anything. They look like I don't know why anybody would put something in such an extravagant case unless it was. Here's the cash register, which, by the way, got open. It is, as many of us speculated, empty except for probably about a 50 cent in pennies. I can't get in this cash box, but I'm almost positive that it is also empty. Security system. There's like, I want to say like 5 or 6 cameras here for that system. I don't really know a whole lot about that kind of stuff, but I know as long as it works. PayPal sprue, label maker, more magic. It's the kind of stuff I dread. Like I said, magic on the wall. This was basically like a dice game people played. I think a lot of places do that, but essentially you just roll the dice and whatever you get, that's the prize you get. And there's a game of probability, I guess, and essentially gambling. But I think it only cost $1 a roll, so it wasn't like you were losing out too bad. There's a bunch of cards in cases here. That's probably where I'm going to start pricing, using the excellent tools that a lot of you have suggested, the scanning tools, all that stuff. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 binders of magic there. Just really nice binders too. This unopened D&D stuff, more promotional poster, TV on the wall, more promotional stuff. Before I get too far back in there, there's more D&D folders there. Lots of magic. All of these display boxes down here are filled with magic. They're older box sets, so I wonder if they're sorted by their set. If that were the case, then that would be beautiful. But I think that I mean, judging for what I've seen for the rest of it so far, I think that might be wishful thinking. More decorative weaponry. Now here's the Atari collection. I know that some people are interested in. It doesn't look like a whole lot, but I think it's pretty much designated as the largest collection in our very, very small town. And I don't see a whole lot of the big games here, but there's a lot of copies, which is cool. And I don't know how many of them work. I mean, there's Defender, there's Asteroids, you got Dodge 'em, got Street Racer. You got Dig Dug. So some of the classics. It's not all, it's not all hopeless. Miss Pac-Man there. I know it's really hard to see in this light, and I do apologize. I don't think there's a whole lot I can do about that at this very moment. Most of these lights are burnt out. There's 3 different Atari consoles. Again, I don't have an idea if they work. I can't imagine they'd be here if they didn't, but I've been more surprised, so. These, I guess, promotional Mountain Dew ice chest kind of deal. Nice little magic mat. I know in decent condition this can go pretty good. Hard to see because it is a dark color. Oh, and there's a magic mat actually under the front. It's a table size magic mat under some of the camera prop stuff up front. Almost forgot about that. More prop weaponry there. And there's a scabbard back here in the office that goes with that. In this office, I have not even started back here. I'm almost afraid to. I'm afraid of what I'll find. But It's obviously an absolute disaster area, and I've kind of started looking for keys and stuff back here. It's really nasty, so I'm going to have to really start cleaning before I feel comfortable spending any time back here and messing with this stuff. But all of this, solid. It is all just full boxes of Magic the Gathering. Some of it is labeled sorted. Some of it's labeled, which is great. And it's maybe a a good place to start after I do the binders and what's in the display cases, if I'm going to individually price. There's a couple people that have offered just coming and picking up all the Magic, which is something that, just because of my limited understanding of it, might be a good option. I do know that people are always looking for holographic lands, which got a whole stack of them here. Hard to see. I know I'm not the best cameraman. Apologies for that. I wanted to believe too. Oh gosh, yeah, I didn't even see that before, but a whole stack of sprues for Warhammer. I know even the bits go for crazy amounts. At least crazy to me for a piece of plastic. I say, and I've spent hundreds of dollars on that game. But some people have spent a lot more than I have. So. Looks like there's a Sega Genesis back there. I have no idea if it works. I imagine it'd be outside if it did, but it's just a guess. There's more Atari back here. Like I said, I'm going to have to spend a lot more time back here. Oh, people are interested in the safe. Almost forgot about the safe. Well, I just dumped a whole big bunch of Magic out. Kind of par for the course for what we got going on right now. This is a table size mat here. This is the safe. I don't really feel anything in it, but if there's just a couple pieces of plastic with cards in them, then whatever. And I would actually like to have this for myself if I can find a locksmith that will do it. I'm kind of been in the market for a safe for a while. Propane, all kinds of stuff back here that, again, I don't even know how to start. Looks like there's some bingo paraphernalia in there. Who knows what's going on back here. All right, it's kind of too dark back here to see, but there's 4 more printers back here, so definitely gonna have to get rid of that Mike Tyson poster here. Again, apologies for the awful lighting. There's a 55-inch TV. That's one of 2 that's in here. You may have saw the other one up there that I may have forgot to mention. All kinds of tools that you can't see. There's like, I think 4 or 5 toolboxes back there. Oh, I think that's a laptop. That'd be cool if it worked, but I don't think things work like that around here. Oh, yeah. I was here earlier. I was about to take this awesome White Dynamite poster down and hang it in my apartment to kind of remind myself of what I'm doing here. And find this safe back here. Another safe. This was built into the wall essentially. Like, I could try to rip that out, and I know it kind of looks like it to come out, but I'm gonna have to probably take something out, take part of the wall out to get that particular safe out. Again, doubtful there's anything in there, but be really cool if there was. Well, oh gosh, we didn't even get started with the Warhammer. Yeah, so some of the Warhammers over there, that's the painted. There's a lot more Warhammer over here. Tyranids, looks like they're fighting some painted Poxwalkers there. Some of the best Poxwalkers I think I've ever seen done. Some terrain here. Looks like there's just some kind of space marine. Some more Tyranids. This is Warhammer's where I'm hoping to get pretty good turnover here. Of course, that's not even talk about the furniture. There's 2 great display cases here. Those display tiers. And, oh yes, did want to show you the rest of the Warhammer. All kinds of stuff here. Some of it's painted, some of it's not. Some of it's badly painted. Some of it's already primed, which that's kind of cool. So all kinds of stuff there, all kinds of goodies for Warhammer. Paints. He was talking about faking cards. I found these in virtually the same place. And, I mean, you could see there's no way that that's going to pass for an actual fake. A real fake. But I don't really know that that's going to be a problem because I can't see where he would have done any of this. Like, really? I think this was probably like a last-ditch desperation thing to try to call himself out. And I think there's something to be said there. You know, I'm sure that it'll be kind of said in the comments and in the Reddit. It kind of already has been said. But the kind of slow descent into madness that, you know, comes with a failing game store. It's rough stuff. This is actually a pretty sentimental piece right here. This was in the original Magic story. Even I remember this, you know, back when I was a little kid, coming in here when it was a completely different store. More magic. As you can tell, it's a lot of magic. But I think I've kind of shown you most of what there is. There's all kinds of odds and ends, and there's a turntable up there. I mean, there's this little charging dock. Lockers here. There's only one that's locked. I'd be interested to get into it just to see if there's anything. Some of them are labeled, and I don't really necessarily know who they would have belonged to, but I would like to maybe return some of the belongings to some of these people that their stuff kind of got caught up in this mess, especially if there's any stuff in there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much going to close us out for tonight. Really do appreciate you guys giving all the advice you could about all this. Like I said, you know, I mean, it's a total mess, and I know I'm in maybe a little bit over my head, and it's just really neat that I can, you know, turn to a community that I've had no experience in and get such overwhelming support and you know, kind words and good advice. Anyway, I think we're done here. If anybody has any questions or thoughts or comments, I'm always delighted to read them, and appreciate you guys very much. Have a good night.